Golden Boy is a prestigious annual award given to the best footballers under 21 years of age playing in a European top-flight league. It was established by the Italian newspaper Tuttosport in 2003, and since then, a number of future stars have won it, among them Leo Messi and Sergio Agüero. There were a lot of promising Golden Boy contenders back in 2013. Some of them managed to develop into world-class footballers, while some others soon tailed off. However, they all had their ups, and that is why their stories are worth telling and why we would like to have a closer look at their careers. Feel free to subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our videos, so you won't miss the next one. But first, try to answer our question. Who was the first ever Golden Boy winner? Messi, Fabregas, Van der Vaart, Rooney? Please leave your answers in the comments and get ready for watching. Mauro Icardi. The Argentine, who finished 10th in the Golden Boy vote in 2013, has had all kinds of rises and falls throughout his further career. He was given the Inter captain's armband at the age of only 22, and his future looked really bright as Icardi was making history for the Nerazzurri. His 124 goals in 219 matches made him the 7th best goalscorer for Inter. At the same time, Mauro would often fall out with his teammates and get booed by the fans, especially after that very story with his teammate Maxi Lopez and his wife Wanda Nara. In 2019, Icardi was loaned out to Paris Saint-Germain and later signed on a permanent basis for 50 million euros. Though his scoring touch was still there, the competition with the likes of Neymar and Mbappe couldn't help but affect Icardi's playing time and the atmosphere in PSG's dressing room. As for now, Mauro Icardi is still considered a PSG player, though he spent this season at Galatasaray on loan. His future is far from certain. Despite his rough spell at PSG, the Argentine still remains one of the most prolific strikers of his generation and may yet prove his quality at some other club after he had scored 15 goals in 20 appearances in Turkey. But Icardi's career has already made us learn that a footballer's personal life may at times become an obstacle for a successful career, no matter how talented he is. Victor Fischer. 9th place went to the Danish winger Victor Fischer, the promising Ajax winger who later joined the English side Middlesbrough for 5 million euros in 2016. Unfortunately, Fischer found no luck in England, so after one season at Middlesbrough, he moved to Mainz. But his German spell was no better and Victor had to come back home as he signed for Copenhagen. There he at last became a key figure for his team, as the Dane led his side to domestic triumph, while Copenhagen had a couple of decent European campaigns in addition to that. Victor Fischer currently plays for the Swedish side AIK on loan from Antwerpen. It's safe to say that he has failed to become a star for Denmark and, unlike many of his fellow nominees, didn't live up to his potential, though he played 21 games for his national team and made 7 goal contributions. Unfortunately, Victor is no longer among big clubs' transfer targets and has to settle for smaller leagues despite the promising start of his career. Bruma. The next footballer in our list is the Portuguese known as Bruma. His playing career started at Sporting Lisbon, as Bruma's pace and technique made many big clubs put an eye on him. In 2013, the winger was signed by Galatasaray for 13 million euros. After a couple of seasons in Turkey and a loan spell at Real Sociedad, Bruma moved to RB Leipzig for 15 million euros. There, his career sparkled with new colors, as Bruma became an integral part of a big club squad, both in the Bundesliga and in the Champions League, as he made 15 goal contributions in 67 appearances for Leipzig. But there's one major thing Bruma lacked: consistency. He had to change clubs all too often, which made his career a bit sporadic. As for 2023, Bruma has 10 goal contributions in 16 appearances for Braga, where he's playing on loan, as he keeps proving himself to be a player of great technique, the quality that made him considered such a big prospect back in 2013. Bruma has proved that a true talent will always find his place at a decent club. He's currently 28 years old, so the Portuguese still has a chance to try himself at the highest level, even though he's clearly not among the world's greatest. Adnan Januzaj. 7th place went to one of the biggest prospects of that time, Adnan Januzaj. The Manchester United Academy product put on a show in the 2013-14 season as he proved himself to be a player of incredible technique, very mature for his age. We know we've got a really special talent, but we'll keep his feet on the ground. But how can you not admire him when he's been so good? He's a very humble boy, a pleasure to work with. That's what the former United coach David Moyes had to say about the Belgian. But after such a glorious start, Januzaj had to face hardships. A new manager was appointed at Manchester United, while the Belgian was loaned out to Borussia Dortmund and then to Sunderland, but showed nothing special both times. After that, Adnan moved to Real Sociedad for €8.5 million, where he at last showed his true quality, which caused so much admiration back in the days, and got a national team call-up, as he later made 15 appearances for Belgium. As for now, Januzaj plays for Sevilla, the club he joined as a free agent last summer. In January, though, he was loaned out to Başakşehir, where he made 3 goal contributions in 7 appearances. Januzaj's story shows us that even the most talented footballers, good enough to play for big clubs at an early age, still have to work hard if they want to get something out of their playing career. Yaya Sanogo. The next name in our list is the name of the French striker Yaya Sanogo, a prime example of a wasted talent. Yaya had a spell at Auxerre and later joined Arsenal as a free agent in 2013, brought to the club by Arsène Wenger, a big fan of his talent, who said, "He has a big future here. Of course he's 21, he has something of a Adebayor, he's strong and technically gifted at the same time." But despite all the anticipation, Sanogo found no success at the Emirates. His injuries and fierce competition in attack resulted in a number of loan spells at Crystal Palace, Ajax and Charlton, and few to none first-team chances at Arsenal. After his contract with the Gunners expired in 2017, Yaya returned to France as he signed for Toulouse, where he finally got a taste of top-flight football and scored 16 goals in 72 League One appearances. In 2021, Frenchman joined Huddersfield, but had to look for a new club once again, only 6 months later, as only this January he was finally signed by the Armenian side Urartu. Unfortunately, Yaya has only had 28 minutes of playing time so far, but during these 28 minutes, he showed a glimpse of his former talent and scored 2 beautiful goals. So maybe in Armenia, he still has a chance to prove himself a quality footballer, as his side Urartu is going to play in the Champions League next season. Marquinhos. The Brazilian Marquinhos, already a PSG player at that time, finished 5th in the Golden Boy standings. 10 years have passed since then, and now we can conclude that his career has been a most successful one. Back in 2013, Marquinhos was among the biggest prospects as he was signed from Roma for €31,400,000 and soon became a key figure for the Parisians thanks to his defensive skills and being solid on the ball. 10 years later, Marquinhos still remains a key figure for PSG's defense, as the Parisians have won 7 League One titles since then and reached the Champions League final in 2020. Apart from that, he has been no less important for his national team as he led Brazil to the Copa America triumph in 2019. Throughout his career, Marquinhos has shown his versatility, as he would play both in defense and as a holding midfielder, and leadership, which made him appointed captain at PSG. Now, 10 years after the Golden Boy 2013, we can speak of Marquinhos as one of the best centre-backs in the world, one of great quality, consistency and importance for both his club and his national team. Raphael Varane. The Frenchman, who came 4th in the Golden Boy rankings back in 2013, has become one of the most titled footballers in the world since then. At that time, Varane was already a Real Madrid player as well as a most promising centre-back. He did live up to the massive expectations, as before long he won the place in the first 11 alongside Sergio Ramos and won a number of trophies with Real Madrid. 3 La Liga titles, 4 Champions League titles, and many others. The 17-18 season was probably his prime one, as Rafael's solid defending helped Los Blancos win the Champions League for the 3rd time in a row. After having spent 10 years at Real Madrid, Rafael Varane moved to Manchester United for €40 million, where his solid run of form continued, to the delight of the United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm absolutely delighted that we have managed to secure one of the best defenders in the world over the last 10 years. Rafael is a proven winner who we have tracked over a long period of time, and we know just how much of a dedicated professional he is. In the end, it didn't take him long to adapt to the new league and become a new defensive leader for Manchester United. Varane's international achievements are also worth mentioning, as with him in defense, France won the 2018 World Cup. So all things considered, the Frenchman's career is a prime example of a Golden Boy nominee living up to his potential and becoming a world star. By the way, if you'd like to learn more about the biggest stars of the 2018 World Cup and how their further careers unfolded, feel free to check our recent video once you're done with this one. And now to top 3. Julian Draxler. Julian Draxler is one of the brightest stars of German football. His career has had a number of important stages since 2013. First, he made a name for himself as a generational talent while playing for the Bundesliga side Schalke 04. Julian's pace, technique and goal-scoring touch were his biggest strength, which made him a transfer target for many bigger clubs. In 2015, Draxler left Schalke for Wolfsburg for €43 million, but his Wolfsburg spell wasn't meant to last long. In January 2017, the German changed clubs once again as he was signed by Paris Saint-Germain for €36 million. At PSG, Julian had to stay in the shadow of his star teammates such as Neymar and Kylian Mbappé, but still managed to contribute to the team's domestic success with 67 goal contributions in 198 games for the club. At the same time, he was no less useful for Germany, as Julian was a part of that very Bundes team that won the 2014 World Cup and then the 2017 Confederations Cup, as Draxler was named the best player of that tournament. But despite all the silverware he won, much more was expected of Julian Draxler back in 2013, as the talented German failed to become a true leader, no matter what club he played for. But nevertheless, his impact both at the club level and for Germany is undeniable. The German is currently playing for Benfica on loan, but doesn't get as much playing time as he would like to. His contract with PSG lasts until summer 2024, and his current transfer value is €8 million as per Transfermarkt. Romelu Lukaku. The Belgian giant fell a tiny bit short of winning the award in 2013. Since then, Romelu Lukaku has indeed achieved a lot both at the club level and with his national team. Once an underlect youngster, he's now one of the most dominant strikers in the world. Back in 2013, Lukaku, a Chelsea footballer, played for West Bromwich on loan. His solid season for West Brom was followed by the Everton spell, which helped Romelu establish himself as an elite Premier League striker. 4 years later, Lukaku was signed by Manchester United for €84,700,000, but failed to bring any significant success to the Red Devils. So after 2 years at United, the Belgian moved to Inter for €74 million, which was surely the best move in his career, as Lukaku became a key player for the Nerazzurri on their way to the 2021 Serie A title. After 2 seasons at Inter, Lukaku, now a Serie A star, returned to Chelsea as he was signed for €113 million, thus breaking the Blues' transfer record. After a prolific start, the Belgian regretted his decision to leave Italy, as he admitted his desire to come back to Inter in that very controversial interview. At the end of that season, he finally rejoined Inter on loan, as Romelu was no longer needed at Stamford Bridge. Lukaku has also been an important figure for Belgium, as he had a number of memorable campaigns with its national team: Euro 2016, Euro 2020, and the 2018 World Cup, where they won bronze. Romelu Lukaku is now the best ever goalscorer for Belgium with 72 goals in 106 games, so it's safe to say that the striker has had a remarkable career since 2013. His stats speak for themselves, just like his quality and consistency, which allowed him to get recognized as one of the best strikers of his generation. Paul Pogba. The Frenchman was the winner of the Golden Boy Award 2013 and still remains one of the most recognized footballers of our time. While at Juventus, Paul Pogba was working miracles with his ball control, strength and long shots. While in Italy, he won 4 league titles with Juve as his side reached the Champions League final in 2015. In summer 2016, Paul Pogba joined Manchester United for a record-breaking sum of 105 million euros. As a first-choice midfielder for United, Paul had his ups and downs, but still managed to bring his team a bunch of trophies in 2017, the League Cup and the Europa League, where he was named Player of the Season. At the same time, Pogba was essential to his national team's success in 2018 as he scored against Croatia in the World Cup final. And not to forget another international trophy for France, the 2021 League of Nations. As for now, Pogba is back to Juventus, though his 22-23 season was pretty much ruined by his recurring injuries. Throughout his career, Pogba has been criticized for his inconsistency and lack of professionalism. The pressure of high expectations was especially strong during his United spell, but the Frenchman managed to prove his doubters wrong from time to time, especially with his performance for France. Paul's career has indeed had it all, as the Frenchman has proved himself to be one of the most talented midfielders of his generation, despite all the challenges he had to face. All these stories serve as a reminder that success doesn't come overnight. It is a long process that requires dedication and patience, but those who make it in spite of all the obstacles and at times against all odds become the biggest source of motivation for millions of younger players from all over the world. Dear friends, please let us know in the comments which one of these footballers do you consider the biggest waste of talent. Thank you for watching and see you soon.